Looks good, but... Alright guys, back with a bit more news, and yes, I know it's not Dragon Ball related, but if you watched my previous video, you'll know I'll be kind of branching off to other lines. I mean, Dragon Ball will still be my bread and butter, the meat and potatoes of this channel, but if you missed the last video, looking into other figures and other lines is a good way to start, giving you guys more content, which is what I really want to start doing. More videos, more reviews, whilst still enjoying the experience. And as much as I love Dragon Ball, we're all interested in other properties too, right? I know I am, and I'd love to know what other properties you guys are into as well. Batman is one of them for me, so let's take a closer look at Figuarts' latest release. Now, we've seen a glimpse of this upcoming release from Tamashii a couple of weeks back. It's basically Batman in the rain, nicely photoshopped in the black and red theme of the movie. But Tamashii have just dropped some official photos of the figure showcasing the figure's range of articulation and all the accessories it'll come packed in with. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know the Pattinson Batman suit inside out, because I don't. I've seen the movie once and I have a general idea of what it looks like in my mind, and a couple of things stick out when I think of this suit, like the shape of the cowl, the collar that connects the cape to the body, the chest emblem, the silver on his gauntlets, and his big chunky boots. Other than that, I could not tell you all of the minor details of the costume. For me, the figure looks accurate enough. And if there were some minor inaccuracies that Tamashii kind of, looked past, I'm totally cool with that. As long as they got the general look of the suit down, I think that's a good enough start. I know that won't sit well with some people who want the most accurate representation of the costume, and that's understandable too. But from where I personally stand, I'm happy to discover those, I guess, minor differences or similarities to the, real suit once I have the figure in hand. But for all those who know any major differences or inaccuracies, please let us know in the comments. Like I said, the figure does look good, and judging by the poses, it looks like it'll have the usual Figuarts articulation, which can get Batman into pretty much, all the poses you would want it to. I know I just said I wasn't too caught up on suit accuracy, but a couple of things do stick out to me and I think may have been done just a little bit better. I guess the first thing to me is the overlay of the top half of the cape. This is a great idea, as the plastic top half that connects to the neck, keeps the cape from floating, something that a lot of wired capes have a problem with. And yes, Batman does come with a wired cape. The thing I'm not too thrilled about is the size the plastic top half of the cape is. I think it could have been just a little bit smaller, a little bit closer together, because where it sits now, it kind of covers a lot of the shoulders, which looks like it might restrict some of the arm or shoulder movement. If you look at some photos or movie stills of the suit, you can see that the cape kind of lays on the shoulders, just a bit before the shoulder pads. It bunches up, but you can clearly see those shoulder pads. I think, if they made the plastic overlay a little bit smaller, it would have looked and possibly worked a little bit better in terms of articulation whilst keeping the overall aesthetic. Mafex is a good example, as they do this with their Dark Knight figures, and it looks and works really great. We don't have any shots of the figure from behind, so I'm kind of interested to see how, that overlay looks from the back. The legs also look a little on the thin side. I know Robert Pattinson wasn't exactly huge in the movie. He was tall and he did have an athletic build, but the pants half, to me, I think were a little baggier. I don't know, maybe it's just from these photos, but the legs, especially the calves and his boots, look a tad small. The first 20 minutes of the movie where they introduced Batman, the scene where he steps out of the shadows, the big chunky boots, the thump, thump, thump. I guess in my mind, the boots, I don't know, were a little bit bigger. That's it, guys. That's all my gripes about this figure, because everything else looks great. The two head sculpts we get, the unmasked and the masked, look very nicely done. It does look like Robert Pattinson under the cowl. Even the unmasked head isn't bad. There definitely is a resemblance to the actor. Could it be better? Sure. Are there better third-party options out there? Absolutely. But as it is, I think Tamashii did a pretty good job. And did I mention he comes with a wired cape? That, and we get a ton of accessories, 6 sets of hands, which includes hands for holding multiple items in Batman's arsenal of gadgets, a chest batarang, or I guess axe. I know he did kind of use it like a cutting tool in the movie, 2 grappling units, 1 for each hand I assume, a pair of chromey handcuffs, a smoke bomb, I'm not really sure what that is, or is that the vial with the green liquid? But yeah, if someone can tell me in the comments, that would be great. But they've also included an extra chest plate for when you want to have Batman using his batarang, which makes sense since it comes out of his chest. Batman is due for an August release, and while Tamashii have yet to set a retail price, I'm guessing it'll run around the 60s to 70s. Pre-orders, I'm guessing, should be up within the week at all your usual retailers, as Tamashii haven't mentioned anything about this being a web exclusive. So keep an eye out for pre-orders, because I'm sure this will sell out quickly due to the popularity of the movie. But what do you guys think of the figure? Will you be picking this one up? Do you have the McFarlane version? How do you think it compares to the Tamashii rendition? Would you like to see a Selina Kyle, a Riddler, or possibly a Penguin? Let me know in the comments. Alright guys, time to head out, but I'll be seeing you all real soon. Take good care of yourselves out there, and as always, yoroshiku!